Hey Zazels and Zazets, if you remember from our last Fortnite review, we rolled Fruit Battlegrounds. Because if you've played one, you've played them all, and Fruit Battlegrounds only needs getting a review because it's more different than the average Battlegrounds game, so I thought it was worth talking about. Also, it was recommended. Alright, let's get to the review. Part 1, what is Fruit Battlegrounds? Fruit Battlegrounds is a Battlegrounds game that's more different than the rest. Unlike other Battleground games where the main draw is flashy effects, and usually that's about it, Fruit Battlegrounds has a refreshing concept for the Battlegrounds formula, that is anyways. It's not that refreshing, where you spin for fruits and they all have unique abilities, which are all based from the One Piece series. And you fight other players with these abilities from the fruits you spun to level up your fruit and be able to participate in tourneys, aka tournaments. That's basically a short gist of what Fruit Battlegrounds is. Part 2, core mechanics. At its core, Fruit Battlegrounds revolves around the acquisition and mastering of fruit abilities. Players will fight and use their abilities strategically to choose what fruit they want to use to outsmart their opponent's fruit. This gameplay loop fosters decision making on a player's navigate the battlefield, constantly evolving their strategies to gain the upper hand, or at least that's what I would say if this game wasn't unbalanced as all hell. Looking at the Nika and the Dragon V2 fruit. Anyways, part 3, the significance of progression. Fruit Battleground stands out from other Battleground games by placing a strong emphasis on player progression, unlike other Battleground games where strength alone dictates success and usually nothing else. Fruit Battlegrounds offers a pathway for players to advance through leveling up fruits and acquiring new abilities. This progression system adds depth and longevity to the gameplay experience. More like there's a reason to come back, unlike the strongest Battlegrounds where you kind of just have everything off the rip and there's really no reason to play besides winning, I guess. Providing players with a sense of accomplishment and an investment in their journey. So basically I'm trying to say there's actual progression, even if it's kind of bad, because the best way to level up your fruit is by using it, because you don't get levels for your fruit by killing people, you get levels for your fruit by just using the abilities, which I find as a weird thing. I don't know why you don't get progression for leveling your fruit by using the abilities and killing people. It just seems kind of weird. It just kind of ruins the whole point of a Battlegrounds game where you should be killing each other, but at least there's some sort of progression for me to play. So whatever, it's not too bad compared to others. Part 4, PvE boss battles and titles. In addition to the normal progression where you're just spamming your fruit abilities overnight to gain levels, Fruit Battlegrounds has PvE boss battles, which is really rare for the genre, and I appreciate it a lot because now you don't just have to fight players. There's Marco and Kaido. Those are the two I can think off the top of my head. These encounters offer players an alternative avenue for advancement, allowing them to hone their skills against PvE or NPCs instead of just players. Furthermore, titles in this game hold substantial value as they give a lot of gems you can use for rolling, which we'll get to in the next part. Part 5, fruit spinning and its nonsense. While Fruit Battleground intertwines its progression with fruit acquisition and enhancement, spinning offers a chance to obtain fruit, but players will soon find out that the rarity spectrum is kind of nutty, with some fruits boasting exceptionally low drop rates, some below 1%, which I didn't even think most games would ever go below 1%, because 1% is already nutty for a random chance of anything. The rarest fruit in this game is 0.01%, I think, and that's the Nika and the Dragon V2, which is crazy. The fact that there's fruits under 1% is nutty to me. And you have to be careful, because if you're not careful, you might just start gambling and not even notice, so make sure to watch yourself and watch your wallet too. Part 6, graphics and visuals. This game graphically is probably the best One Piece game up there with GPO in terms of effects and visuals. I mean, I would say so. Compared to Blox Fruits and say like King's Legacy. King's Legacy has gotten a lot better over time. Blox Fruits is okay, I guess. But GPO and Fruit Battlegrounds are definitely the best on the spectrum in terms of graphics and visuals. Yeah, I would give it that over everything else. And it has a lot more fruits than those games too, so good job developers. Speaking of devs, let's get to that. Part 7, devs and monetization. Fruit Battlegrounds has really good active developer support with frequent gem code giveaways and regular game updates, just like the new one for the Hunt Roblox event. Their consistent influx of new content keeps the gameplay experience more fresh and engaging than most others, especially compared to other games on the platform, like Blox Fruits, which gets a content update maybe 4 or 5 months, which is literally usually only one thing. But I digress. Alright, let's get to the monetization part of that. The most expensive thing in this game is 1,600 Robux, equivalent 17 USD. And that's not that bad, especially because you get 9,000 gems. 9,000 gems is a lot of spins, it'll take forever to go through. So I think it's relatively fair. And everything else is relatively cheap. and I don't think anything's overpriced, which is a rarity in One Piece games. Usually they'll be like 4,000 for a single fruit, like Perm Kitsune. But these developers seem rather fair with their pricing, so I got nothing to say. Just like the average good pricing for a good Roblox game. Let's move on to my final thoughts. In conclusion, while Fruit Battlegrounds offers a decent journey of growth and development, it also presents challenges inherent on its gem-based progression system. Players must navigate the pitfalls of resource management and uncertainty of your gems, balancing the risk and reward of how much Robux they want to spend, or if they want to spend any and all to advance within the game. And while its gameplay mechanics aren't too deep and rather fun, and the visuals are probably some of the best on the platform, with good developer support, it's definitely just a Battlegrounds game and not much to it, but it is a good Battlegrounds game. So Fruit Battlegrounds provides a good experience for the average player, I would say, that challenges players to get stronger, to fight in tourneys and become the best fighter or whatever the progression wants you to do. It's a Battlegrounds game. All right, I don't know what to say, guys. I'm trying to make something up, but it's a Battlegrounds game. Just fight each other. That's all you gotta do. I give this game a 7 out of 10 overall and a 9 out of 10 for potential. And I only give it that high because there's still a lot they can add, and it's probably the best Battleground game in terms of content. But that's not a very high bar to set when most just fight each other. So yeah. Alright, let's spin the damn wheel. Alright, looks like the next video is on Deep Woken. Where my feeling or girls at? Like and subscribe, Zazels and Zazets. If there's no eternity, so why do we all fight? I try my best to laugh at it and go and live my life. These things we have that shine so bright, one day the light will die. We walk our paths despite this mortality. We will walk and live our lives until our light burns out.